Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. Almost sounds like Sean Carroll's podcast, which is actually the topic of this little short video. And welcome to the Mindscape podcast. I'm your host, Sean Carroll. So, love the guy, huge fan. I am in the process of finishing up his last book, which was called The Big Picture. Sean Carroll's a theoretical physicist. He teaches out there in Caltech. And I have listened to every single one of his podcasts. They're only about, well, let's see. I have it up right here. This is number 63. And I've listened to them all. Sean Carroll's a big hero of mine. He started his podcast last year. It's only been going on for a year. I was interested in, again, Joe Rogan. Sean was on Joe Rogan. I heard about him even before, and I just said, this guy, I love him. And I fell in love with him. And you talk about high, intelligence. There are levels to this thing, right? Like, I'm fairly intelligent, I'm well-read, but this is a whole other fucking level. When you hear this guy, it's like he's like a cyborg or something. You know what's interesting? Well, let me just play a little bit of today he just released the podcast I'm going to get to, but last Monday, he released a solo thing. So he talked for an hour and 50 minutes, nonstop. And it's not like this, right? The way I talk. If you downloaded the transcript, it would be like, what the fuck? It almost sounds like Trump. If you download Trump's, no, listen. I'm not going to compare myself to that stupid man. But I'm just saying that slangy with the way I talk. I talk the way... Sean, let me make the comparison this way. The way Sean Carroll talks is the way he writes. He always puts the transcript here, right? Here it is, Sean Carroll. You hit transcript, and there it is, and it's like perfectly written for an hour and 50 minutes, no notes, and it's like, holy fuck, this is next level genius. And he's not, what stuff he's talking about are fucking black holes and quantum physics and space-time. He's fucking awesome, man. I love him. But just a little taste of Sean.
Quantum mechanics describes all of reality branches. It splits into multiple copies, and there are now multiple copies of you, one in each different universe. And those universes
Many worlds
don't interact
interpretation.
Anymore. They go on their separate ways, okay?
The
so
Everettian
theory. That's a little mind-bendy all by itself.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be a real focus here today. The point I want to make is that this idea of many universes, many worlds of quantum mechanics, that's the label given to the theory, but it's not the central point of the theory. Everett nor anyone else didn't start by saying, well, maybe there are many worlds. Maybe that makes everything make a lot more sense. Rather, he took the fundamental ingredients of quantum mechanics and stripped them down to their bare essences. So let me explain what those fundamental ingredients are, and then you will see how many worlds pops out of that. This is going to be very, very quick, but I think it'll be enough to understand what's going on.
Okay, he's a teacher too, right? And like I said, he teaches out in Caltech, so he's got a lot of practice. He knows how to do it, but he's so good. And not only he talks about other things, not just he's a theoretical physicist by training, but he talks about other things too, culture, philosophy, all this stuff, kind of like what I do, but obviously, so. What's interesting, I guess the point, by the way, I'll be doing podcasts on many worlds interpretation. That's fucking, that is mind-bending. Hey, let me give you an example. Right now, I'm sitting down doing this video, having a cup of coffee at this time. In another world, I didn't have a cup of coffee. I'm actually talking, but I didn't reach for my coffee. That's another world. And then in another world, I didn't even do this video recording. In another world, I went for a drive, and it's infinite, and it splits. And now you say, get the fuck out of here. That's so speculative, and it's out there. And I'm going, no, the math works. The math works. Sean Carroll is a scientist, and well, listen, it's not just Sean Carroll believing this Everettian many worlds theory. It's this guy, he's rigid. He is a guy who's a skeptic by heart. The math works. The many worlds interpretation. Whatever you do, it splits. Everything you do splits infinitely. It's wild shit. Why do you think I love physics? Physics is the most interesting. Physics, philosophy, theology. Really, physics. What is physics? Physical things, matter and motion. How physical? What is the world? That's physics. Physics, right in the title. Physics. And get into philosophy too. This shit, there's nothing deeper, more mind fucking blowing than physics. All right, so let me just close at that. Sean Carroll is one of my heroes. He's the fucking best. But it's like if I think I'm going to compete with this guy, that's insanity. You know, I mean, he's just this polished guy, this brilliant scholar, who's a New York Times best-selling author, and he's a teacher, and he's got a PhD in physics, theoretical physics, and he's just this incredibly polished guy. And I'm kind of just sort of this. I'm a super well-read guy, but I'm kind of, off the cuff. I'm a little rough, right? That's the way I talk, right? So, all right. I'll leave it at that. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding. Go check out Sean Carroll, Mindscape podcast. He's the fucking best, man.